And for Sesko, on the reports have been flying around that he's open to joining Manchester United, although we've not had any concrete news if he has chosen Manchester United over Newcastle. You understand? He's still deciding. I believe he has not given his verdict to any of the teams. Just maybe blogs they are just putting up posts there. You understand? So for Manchester United fan, you don't need to get your hopes high until you get concrete news that this guy has chosen Man U or Newcastle. You understand? But he's open to join any of the teams, and even though Leipzig they have, I think the table, I think his release clause should be around 60 something, yeah, about 68 or 69 million pounds. You understand? And apart from that, if you're going to buy Sesko from Leipzig, they said you must include future percent sales. And I think that would be a really stumbling block for Manchester United because mind you, they don't like doing that kind of business. When they buy, then you have percent sale. I don't think ever since I've been seeing them signing, I've not seen them do that kind of business. Because if you remember, in Haaland, that is one of the things that made them didn't sign Erling Haaland before he moved to Borussia Dortmund when he was still at Salzburg. You know, Manchester United wanted to sign him then, but they were saying you're going to put a future sale clause about 30% or so. So one of those things that I know the club they don't really like putting in those clauses, especially when they are buying on a high fee. Well, look at this thing when you are going to pay about 70 million pounds on a player, you understand, and then you still put on future percent sales. It's not I don't think most clubs will want to do that kind of deal. You understand? Most of the time when you're putting that uh, future sales is mostly when you're buying the player on a cheap. You understand? Maybe if you're buying the player on a cheap, then you can put future sales, but not when you're buying that player on a high price and you're still adding future percent sales. So I don't if that deal is going to work, I think maybe the both party between the both clubs will try to renegotiate on that terms. You understand? But let's see. Depends on where the player wants to go, and it will be a hard knock for Newcastle if Sesko comes to reject them this summer because they have had a lot of rejects this summer from Ja Pedro going to Chelsea, Tilap going to Chelsea, uh, um, and Matis Cunha going to Manchester United, Brian Buemo going to Manchester United, James Trafford going to Manchester City, and now Sesko. So they've had a lot of reject this summer, and that tells you how big you are as a club. Even though based on levels at the moment, Newcastle are higher than Manchester United, but when it comes to pedigree, when it comes to name, of course you can't equate both teams. Even as how down the club Manchester United is, they are still getting players over Newcastle. It might be big and all that, but every club has its own name. They have their own prestige. You understand? And for you to get to that level, you have to work harder. It takes years to build that kind of name, and it involves winning a lot. You understand? When you're winning a lot, when you're showing up, you get bigger fan base, you get more hype, and then people tends to fall in love with you and all that. It's not just all about money. You can have the money, but then you don't have that